All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz, Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. Up Chris Gonzalez, joined by Jay McLevin. How's it going, Jay?
It is going well, my brother. It is going well. As you know, man, lots of sports going on today, lots of sports going on this evening. Today we get to, or tonight, I should say, we get to see the Lakers take on the Warriors, and which will be very much anticipated. Gonzo, with everybody, curious to see how far this Lakers can actually go. Well, we're going to see the first really big test tonight as they go to Golden State in the heart of the Lion and take on game one of that 2-game home series there in Golden State before it comes back to LA. So with that having been said, I think it's going to be incredibly intense and incredibly crazy. And that's the kind of playoff basketball I think we all like to see is intense basketball. And I think we're going to get that tonight.
Yeah, I think it should be a good game. I have the Warriors winning the series, but I think it's going to be a good, real good game. I think the key for the Lakers is going to be are they going to be able to stop? Not really stop, but slow down Steph enough because.
Oh, absolutely, especially when the man just came off a 50-point game.
He's been playing well. He's been playing well, and he's been getting to the rim as well. It's not just been all outside shooting. He's really been getting by his primary defender and attacking the rim as well. So it's going to be interesting. And AD is going to have to play, I think, a little bit more consistent than what he's been playing.
Yeah, when it comes to that team, Gonzo, it's gonna be everybody. I mean, yeah, obviously, like you said, primarily, the two big studs, and James and AD got to do their thing. But man, if they don't get that role players, if they don't get that bench help, specifically AR-15, specifically guys like Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, for the love of God, D'Angelo. If you can come out and give them like you gave them last go around, where you give them 17 points, some good rebounds, assists. I mean, if you can get that kind of effort out of D'Angelo, Vanderbilt, if you can give, even half of what you've been given, I think they'll be okay. But it's going to be an all-hands effort in order for, the Lakers to really take on this Golden State Warriors team, man.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, that game's later tonight. Before that game, you have the Heat and Knicks game 2.
That's going to be a good one too, man.
Could be a good one. Kind of waiting to see what's going on with Butler, if he's going to try to give it a go, or if they're going to sit him out this game. I don't know. I think, yeah, you're on the road. I don't unless he's 80, unless he's like 90%. I say you set him out. And
I agree.
That rest.
I agree.
But
because you've already taken one over there, so let your bench, let your other guys, step up and see if they can get the win without Jimmy, and give Jimmy, some time to rest and really get that, ankle back in shape. So when you come home, possibly get him back in the lineup then, and have a much better chance than trying to push an injury that, really, like you said earlier, was that ankle ain't no joke to play around with.
No. But then last night, man, James Harden went off, had 45 points, hit a 3-pointer to put Philly in the lead there with 8 seconds left in the game. Sixers get a big win without Joel Embiid. Take game 1 on the road against Boston. So if you're Boston, to me, you got to feel like you let one slip through your hands there. That's a game. I mean, you got to win. When other team don't have their best player on the floor, you can't be losing, especially on the road, especially at home. So
yeah,
Boston dug a little bit of a hole.
I don't mean to go back, but I think it's something that was kind of funny, man. We were talking about Braun and AD, and when you look at their depth chart real quick, it has day-to-day next to their names. And I always think that's got to be like a permanent abbreviation that's attached to their name. Like, I don't think that day-to-day ever goes away. I think they just keep that there because, you just never know with those two guys. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of funny when I was looking at their depth chart. It had day to day, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably there all the time.
You never know.
But back to Harden, like he was talking about with the 76ers. I don't know, man. I think I forget who it was that post. I think Rob Strite in the group chat on Unscripted Realist said that they had stole one. And I'm like, bro, let me tell you something. James went in there and put up 45. Maxey did his thing. Harris did his thing. They're all putting up points. They're all doing their jobs. They didn't steal that shit. They went in there and took that game. They took it, and the Celtics couldn't stop it.
Hey, how's it going, Anthony?
Now, if you would have said, if you look at that game, Tatum blew up, had a great game, 39 points, a crap ton of rebounds, so forth. Brown went in there, threw up his points. Everybody was throwing points up, and yet they still couldn't stop it. Even their bench had points coming up, and they couldn't stop it. So to say that they stole one would be if they went in there and the Celtics just played like garbage, and they took it.
I think they stole
it.
I do think they stole one because of
Embiid not playing. Why would you not?
Because Embiid not playing. If your best player is not in the court, and you still win on the road. You stole one from Boston because that's a game Boston to me is a must-win game. You can't lose a game at home when the other team's best player is not in the court.
If you look at it from that perspective, if you look at it from that perspective, I can understand where you're coming from. I guess I'm just the kind of guy. I can see where you're coming from. I just feel like, man, when everybody, Boston didn't give that game away. Like they played hard.
And everybody they gave the game away, but nope, there was nobody that thought that the Sixers was going to win that game without Embiid playing. Is what you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, even if Embiid was playing, a lot of people didn't see them taking that game. Even with Embiid, they had Boston taking that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but especially without Embiid.
Oh, for sure. Well, and a lot of people were banking on that Harden would be the typical James Harden, which I get it. I totally get it because, I was thinking the same thing. Because as a Houston Rockets fan, I've known James Harden for a long time, and I've watched James Harden for a long time. And I know how James Harden is when he goes into the playoffs. A lot of times he disappears. Now, I will say, during that one series that we had against Golden State, we were beating Golden State. And I think had Chris Paul not gone down with injury, we were going to beat Golden State and go into the finals that year. But because Chris Paul went down, then we went down. So that was the first time I actually saw James Harden step up and play the role that he was supposed to play, which is the leader of that team and doing what James Harden is supposed to do. But by large, typically he disappears, and he's disappeared when he was with the Nets, and he's disappeared a lot when he was with the Sixers. But for some reason, and I don't know if he just went back in a time capsule to that series against Golden State, and he channeled that Golden State Harden version into himself, because when he came out possessed, and that was a vintage Harden I wanted to see, and I haven't seen that in a long period of time. So, number one, congrats to Harden. Number two, way to step up. And if they could, like you said, and I think if they could continue to play like that, they're going to surprise a lot of people. Pride being probably the biggest one, because I don't think Pride saw that coming.
Frankie said, "Wow, Lakers literally ruined the Grizzlies organization."
Oh man. Bro, I think they broke the back of Memphis, man. They done came out and said that they are not going to bring Dylan Brooks back under any circumstances. Wow. I mean, they didn't even leave the door cracked open. They just said flat out, you're out of here. You're not coming back. And I would not be surprised if Jaren Jackson Jr. is the next one out the door. I think he leaves. I don't think he's going to get kicked out, but I think he leaves in free agency. I think he's signed somewhere else. Wow, what a time to be alive. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know about Jaren Jackson. He might, but Brooks, I mean, that's what, hey, you got to know who you are. And if you start running your mouth when you're not a guy that should run your mouth and it don't go well, you could chances are you might be out of town. I think he rubbed some of his teammates the wrong way, especially when then it's one thing to talk, but then when you try to, and then when it don't go your way, you back down and then try to make it seem like it was everybody else's fault, that it was the media creating a narrative. No, it's what came out of your mouth, dumbass. But
yeah, I mean, he literally said, "Call LeBron old," and I'm like, "Come on, man."
And then
what was gonna happen?
Try to say the media was trying to make him out as a villain. It's like, no, you're the one you've always talked, but now it didn't go your way this time. Now it mentally broke you, and you don't know what to do. I mean, he's a guy. He's a guy that averaged like 18 points a game, 18, 19 points a game, and the playoffs just didn't show up at all, especially in that in that series.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it, man. And I wonder, and Stat Guy, maybe you might have some information on this, but I wonder now that Dylan Brooks is out with Memphis, if he's going to be playing basketball in China next year, or if he'll latch on with another team.
He's going to go to China or Australia, maybe even Korea, and hang out with Kim Jong-un for all I care.
But realistically, I mean, I can't imagine. I think he's going to wind up. I really do think he's going to wind up playing overseas somewhere, whether it be China or Europe or, like you said, Australia. I mean, who knows? But
he'll team up with Dwight Howard wherever Dwight Howard is at this point.
I think Dwight Howard's out there in Korea.
Yep, he'll team up with him.
Yeah,
he'll create
he's out there eating. I think he's out there eating kimchi and chilling.
Instead of the movie Benchwarmers for baseball, they're going to create the All Rejects team in Korea.
Well, you know what was the other famous guy that went out there? He's an older school guy, guard Stephon Marbury. Stephon Marbury had to go overseas after a while and play.
Jimmer Fredette did too, because Jimmer Fredette was playing in Australia for a couple of years.
Yeah, Jimmer Fredette. That was one of the guys. That was one of those picks that made me scratch my head. I never really thought he should have came to the NBA in the first place. But
yeah, Brooks is going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he don't end up on a team somewhere, just because, like I said, in regular season he played pretty good. He ran his mouth and shit the bed.
That's exactly why no one's going to take him, because of after the crap he pulled in the postseason.
Yeah. You, like Gonzo said, there's certain things you just can't say, and he went against everything. No, Frankie, I'm putting you in timeout, Frankie. Frankie, I'm putting you in timeout. Oh, dang, I can't. I can only delete or block you. Son of a gun. What a time to be alive. If I could block his ass, or if I could put him in timeout for 20 minutes, I would.
I mean, in Frankie's defense, Jay.
No, there's no defense. I'm going to put you in timeout.
They may bring Dylan Brooks to Houston to be the wife's bodyguard, to keep Ime Udoka away from them.
You know, no, I'm not going to do it, but you should definitely be in timeout for that one. Ime is going to be okay. They got protections in place. He agreed to the contract to leave the women alone. It's going to be all right. It's going to be okay. I will say the women in Texas are beautiful, though, so he's going to have a hard time with that, but he'll be all right.
Then you have the Denver Nuggets take a 2-0 lead over the Phoenix Suns.
Man, I'll tell you, like I said before, I really think Joker has, obviously it's a regular season award and not a postseason award, but, everything about Joker this year just is solidifying why he's the true MVP and nobody else can be in that category. He is the true MVP. Because, Frankie, I'm going to tell you why. Because you're saying to go to Houston to get into my skin, and you know that. Okay, there you go. If you want to say to Indiana, then that's Gonzo's problem.
No, the Suns are going to they're really going to have to pick it up when they get back home. I mean, yeah, you're going back home now, but you watch these first two games. Last night's game was more competitive, but that first game really wasn't competitive at all. Last night's game was more competitive, but still going down the stretch. You had some crazy turnover by the Suns, and just they're depending too much on one-on-one basketball. It's give the ball.
It's not just that though. It's not just that too. It's when Chris Paul got hurt, that offense kind of went downhill. They don't have that secondary point guard that can run the offense if Chris Paul's out long term. And you've seen that every year in the playoffs when the Phoenix Suns get eliminated, that it's pretty much dependent on Chris Paul. When he's healthy, that team is at their best. And when he gets hurt, then the team goes south. And that's exactly what happened last year, too, in the playoffs. Chris Paul wasn't healthy in that series against Dallas when they went home.
Yep. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but Chris Paul was healthy game one, and they got beat worse game one than they did game two.
That was only one game, though. I'm just saying, like,
that's why I'm saying. I don't think it's all Chris Paul. I think some of it is, but I don't think it's all Chris Paul. I just think Denver's a better team as well.
I'll tell you what, Stat Guy, and I was telling this to Gonza earlier, and I think, we discussed it. I told him I felt like, I understand the value of Kevin Durant and his ability to make plays and shoot the ball, things like that. But I felt like what they gave up for him was more than what that team could take on in terms of, you got Kevin Durant, and that's great and fine and all, but you gave up a good portion of your bench, and I felt like that was just something they couldn't recover from. And I think you see it. They're top heavy, but they have nothing in the reserve tank to come give them a hand. And I think that really is the biggest difference of why the Phoenix Suns aren't going to go far, not because so much that Chris Paul got hurt, not that didn't hurt them, because, again, they have no point guard to come in and relieve him, truthfully. And I think not having that bench is what really is keeping them from going anywhere. And I think it's going to – and that's what is going to keep them. They just gave up way, way too much to bring in Kevin Durant.
It's the Matthew Stafford version of an NBA trade, because you look at what the Rams gave up for Matthew Stafford. They pretty much sold their souls to the devil to get a Super Bowl, and they got it. And now look at the position that the Rams are in. Yeah. You say the same thing about the Suns at this point, where they basically sold their soul to the devil to try to get a title with Kevin Durant, and it's probably not happening this year. And now look at the position the Suns have put themselves in for the next several years. If they don't get it now, who's to say that team is not going to be blown up mid-season next year? Because if they don't have a bench to support Kevin Durant, they're going nowhere.
Yeah, and they not having the bench. Plus, when they got rid of them guys, like you got rid of Mikal Bridges, one of your better defensive guys, it hurt them defensively as well.
Yeah, when you lost Mikal Bridges, that was a big loss for them. Not to mention, all the other guys, Cam Jordan and so forth.
Even losing Jay Crowder was a big loss for them that no one even talks about. That Jay Crowder was the physical force that they needed during the playoffs.
Oh, that's it. He was a junkyard dog, or if you want to call him the Mario Ellie from the Houston Rocket championship years. You need, or even the PJ Tuckerish type guy.
Yeah.
You lost that meanness in your defense. And you need that. And you need that. You need that tough guy.
Okay.
But at the end of the day,
that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean, Frankie. I mean, it's Kevin Durant.
The problem, again, like I said, the biggest problem with the Phoenix Suns is they're just not a balanced team. If they were a balanced team, they have a better shot at getting a title. But they lost a lot of their balance during this trade, and it's just, as you can see where it's landing them. They're 2-0 or down 2 games going back to Phoenix, and I hope they get swept. I hope they get swept just to really make them think, we shouldn't have made this damn trade.
I don't think they get swept. I do think the Nuggets win the series.
It's okay. When they get swept, I want my flowers, and I prefer red roses. I'm a high class person. Long stem, not that short stem shit. But you got to de-thorn it because I'm kind of sensitive with the thorns.
If you're smart enough to touch the thorn, that's your own problem.
Hey, if you can get a vase, that'd be really appreciative.
That's going overboard. You ain't get no vase.
That's fine. I'll settle for chocolates, flowers, and chocolates. I'll settle for that. Tony would totally do that. I'm just saying.
Frankie said he wants his acknowledgement when they get eliminated because he said they wouldn't win.
Yeah, I get that, and I know. I mean, well, you're just getting the acknowledgement for hating KD, and that's totally understandable. I get why you hate KD. KD really should have never left Golden State. When he left Golden State, that was the downfall of him. I mean, he fit in nice with Golden State. He didn't have to be the leader. All he had to do is go out there and be the playmaker he is. He fit right nicely with them guys, and then of course, then he leaves. I just don't know why you leave. I would have just stayed there and rode it out. Probably could have got at least 2 or 3 more rings out of that one.
You know why he left, right?
I don't know the full story of it, no.
He wanted to prove that he could win a ring without Curry.
Well, I knew that. I thought there was more to it than that.
No, because everybody said he couldn't win a ring on his own or couldn't win a ring without talent. So he had plenty of talent in Oklahoma City, never got it done. Then he goes to Golden State and gets 2 rings with Golden State. So everyone's like, well, the only way you can win a ring is with a bunch of talent or in a system that's designed kind of the way that Golden State system is. So he wanted to go somewhere else and prove that he could win a ring without all this help in the world, and he's shown that he can't. He's shown that he does need help, but he also needs to play in a system that is perfect for him, and that Golden State system is perfect for him because of the shooters that they have that can open up the floor for everybody else.
Yeah, I get that. What's up, Frankie?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, just a little Golden State Warriors talk.
Yeah, just let me know when you guys are done talking. Just let me know when you guys are done talking about KD, because I'm tired of talking about the same shit for the past 3 years about this bum. And you guys are finally acknowledging what I've been saying for the past 3 years, that this dude is a bum. But in any case scenario, I feel bad for the Phoenix Suns because they did all that trade just to get a bum. But I don't know how many times I got to tell you guys that KD is just a big old bum. Yeah, that's all. Jay, did you know that KD was a bum?
Well, like I said, I think the biggest thing with that whole trade is not so much he's a bum. I think it's just they give up. They're just not a balanced team anymore. They have no bench hardly. They're just top heavy. And I just don't know how you win championships when you're top heavy and you have no bench to come in and relieve you. I just don't see how that works. I think they thought it could work. I think they thought that, well, we'll throw KD in there and, all these great things will happen. And it's not coming to fruition. And it's not coming to fruition because they're not a balanced team.
Yeah, and he's playing, they're playing these guys a lot of minutes because don't have a bench. So you're playing these guys 44, 45.
And you got to remember that when the Phoenix Suns acquired Kevin Durant, Frankie snuck into the building, peed on the floor, and Kevin Durant slipped in Frankie's piss and rolled his ankle.
Well, Frankie, what an asshole. Man.
That's what I was looking for.
Frankie, tonight is your night, though, buddy. Tonight is your night. You get to see your Lakers go up against the Golden State Warriors in Golden State.
So, you think you're going to get a nervous reaction out of me? I'm not nervous. What is there to be nervous about? I'm chilling.
No, what I said was I said you should be excited.
I'm super excited, Jay. I'm so excited that I'm chilling. All right? I'm chilling. AD's not no Sabonis. Fuck out of here. He's not going to let Draymond step on his ribs. Nah. If anything, AD's going to be the one stepping on Draymond. All right? Listen.
Oh, we don't need AD stepping on anybody. That's a quick way to roll an ankle.
We might not have
we better hope Draymond
we got AR-15.
Step on his ribs. But hopefully step on AD's ribs because AD can be out for 2 series, not just he wouldn't be back the next game.
Look, you step on AD's ribs, could be out for the year.
Hold on. You talking about something? What didn't Paul George like literally snap his leg in half when he played for the Pacers and then left you guys because you knew that you were just an organization for just injured players?
Yeah, he left.
Don't do that, Chris.
Left to go win championships all these other places and see how it worked out for him.
Same thing happened with Victor Oladipo too with you, didn't it?
Yep.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Pacers they just hurt people.
You better Tyrese Halliburton better get out the door quick.
You know, Frankie, we were just talking about this. If you look at the Lakers depth chart, and this is no lie. I'm serious. You can go right now and check it out. LeBron and AD both have day-to-day next to their names. And I was telling Chris, I don't think they ever take day-to-day off their names. I think that's a permanent part of their name. It's like permanently attached to their name. And that's the part that scares me.
Day-to-day don't really mean nothing, honestly, to be realistic with you. That just don't mean shit. I don't even think that they update anything on there. Because if you guys all know that if we were to know that any of these guys were hurt, we would actually know about it and hear about it, but we haven't heard anything about it. I don't think they updated their thing yet. But nobody's day-to-day. You know what's day-to-day, Jay? You know what's day-to-day? The wins that we're going to get over Golden State. That's day-to-day.
Oh.
Hey.
Well, I'll tell you, if that's going to happen, you're going to need big games from AR-15, and you're going to need a big game from Hachimura. Yeah, you really need a big game from D'Angelo.
Don't worry about him.
I'm not worried about them because if they don't do it, they're going home.
That's what you think. You said that last series. You said that last series.
If they go into Golden State, which we all know how Golden State plays at home, and they don't have a collaborative effort down the lineup, you'll be going home with a loss.
Oh my God.
It's true.
I can't wait for Jay to come on tomorrow and be like, well, the Lakers got one in Golden State. And I did say that if they go out there and they win at least one, that they can win this series.
I did say that. I did say that, and I still stand behind that.
And then today he's over here like, you guys, if nobody steps up, you're going home.
Again, I think that's a fair assessment. I think you have to get one game.
Jay,
and
we're not the Phoenix
Suns.
And
you need to have a good collaborative team effort. You can't be top heavy with AD in them. Like AR-15's got to show AR-15.
Have you not been watching the Lakers like since the All-Star break?
I try not to watch the Lakers if I can avoid it.
All right, so you clearly.
But I do watch them because it's part of being a podcast. So yes, I do watch them. But
I don't watch.
But I wish I didn't have to. I honestly hate. I hate the Lakers. But at the same time, I did tell you. I said, look, I don't have a dog in the fight. My team is at home. We're last. That's who we are. But and I said this to you. I said I would love to see your Lakers, do their thing. So we'll see.
So be confident. Stop being so freaking like, oh, well, if these guys step up. Nah, be freaking confident. Sit there with your freaking chest out like I am and say, we're going to go in there and we're going to dog pound the shit out of Golden State and we're going to walk away with a victory. That's what I'm doing right now. I got my Laker gear on, ready to go. All right? Steph Curry, ready to go.
Really? Oh, show me your face. Show me your face right now. Take it off. Come on up there. Let me see with your Laker gear on.
No, I don't want to right now. I'm joking. I don't got my Laker gear on right now. You think? Listen. We playing in the West Coast right now. You think I'm gonna put my Laker gear on right now at 1:40 in the afternoon? I gotta wait until 10 p.m. and shit. Nah. I wait until like 6.
Yeah, you guys got. Yeah, you definitely got. You guys are definitely playing late tonight. There's no doubt about it.
We're playing late this entire goddamn series. It don't matter if we go to Golden State or we go to LA. It's freaking West.
Bro, you about to say you're always a 10 o'clock game, no matter what you do.
Like some of them don't start till 10:30 or 20 to 11.
It's gonna be a late night for Jay to watch this game, but I'm gonna watch it. I probably won't be off. Probably won't be over till like damn near 1 o'clock in the morning.
It's gonna be funny, man. First it was round 1, it was me versus Randy. Now round 2, it's me versus Rob, Scott, and Mike. Because these guys don't know what to do. They can't enjoy just sitting home and being home with their Bulls. No. They got to be some hardcore player fans and go ahead and switch over to the West Coast side and be like, yeah, Warriors, dumb nation.
You know what? I still call complete and total horse shit on that. You can't just leave your team because another play. You can like the guy, but to sit there and ditch your team because they suck and go leech on to another team, I'm sorry. That is complete and total horse shit. I don't know why everybody allows them to get away with that.
Sounds like some Freddie shit.
That's absolutely some Freddie shit.
You know, I'm gonna ditch the Pacers and become a Lakers fan with Frankie.
Yeah, I'll accept you. I'll send you the papers of the transcript and everything. You already got a Lakers hat there. I know you do.
I do have a Lakers hat here. It wasn't mine originally, but I do have a Lakers hat.
You're 10%. You're 10% on the way there. Slowly, I'll get Jay into moving away from Houston and becoming a Laker fan. Slowly,
no. Listen, that's too ingrained. Literally, my heart bleeds.
You gotta get Jay to quit being an Astros fan.
Literally in that order.
Turn him into a Yankees fan. Give him
I want Jay to stay an Astros fan because Mel has a relative that's moving around here in my area in like Jersey or something, and I told Mel and Jay I'm gonna turn that guy from a Texas fan native to a Yankee fan, and Jay's got so mad. He's like, damn.
Yeah, I want to say if I got it right, I think he's going to live in Jersey but work in New York. So yeah, he's going to do that typical New York thing: go where it's cheaper and then work where it's more expensive. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know if it's really that much cheaper in Jersey though. Is it, Frankie? Aren't they pretty much all damn expensive?
No, Jersey's cheaper. When I travel to the city, I cut through Jersey just so I can get gas because their gas is cheaper. Everything is cheaper in Jersey.
You think the Knicks will be able to bounce back against the Heat tonight?
Oh, that's a good one too, Frankie.
I do. I honestly, I really do. I really do. Just because, and we talked about it yesterday, and I mentioned, Jimmy Butler's probably going to be out with a like sore ankle. And an ankle is no thing to worry about. Like now you have to think about it. Now you have Tyler Hero with a broken hand. You have Victor Oladipo who's out with a broken, like, what did he break? His knee or his quad or something like that? What did he break?
Probably his vagina.
Yeah, I was gonna say he broke his vagina.
Okay, so yeah, he broke his vagina. That's insane. And as a father of four, listen, I understand that pain, but and then you got now I was trying to get somebody to laugh. And now you got Jimmy Butler with a hurt ankle. That's your three best players right there that are out. I mean, you got Bam, but has Bam really been showing up this entire playoffs? I don't think so. And then you got Kyle Lowry, who literally, I think his best playing skill times is still back in Toronto. It hasn't, came down into the south of Miami yet. It's taking slower. His ball playing skills is taking slower than he was going to Miami. So I don't know what's going on there. So I think I think New York is going to get it tonight. Also, I don't know if Julius Randle returns tonight. If Julius Randle returns for the Knicks tonight, is definitely New York favorite tonight.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing is going to be if he does play, if Butler does play, all eyes are going to be on him. Can he, like you said, Frankie, can he come out and beat Jimmy Butler, or is he going to be this hobbling dude walking around, probably doing more damage than he is good? I think me and Chris were talking. I think, they took one game out of New York, so you split the series already. Why I wouldn't risk. I would wait and I would send him home. Honestly, let him get some treatment, a lot of treatment, obviously on that ankle, and try to get him back, during that part of the series, and let your team, do as best they can this part. You know what I mean? I don't know that I'm risking him to come back too soon when he could be getting treatment to get a better version of himself.
They have Randall's listed as questionable right now for tonight.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm not sure about Butler yet. That's what I'm looking up.
Butler's been getting treatment 24 hours around the clock. He is a game time decision, but unless he physically can't walk. Spoelstra said he will play.
That's stupid. They don't care about people's health anymore. Like, we wouldn't be mad if the Miami Heat get eliminated. Honestly, like, you came in as a play-on team, lost to the Hawks, had another game for the last spot. You got that spot. Then you eliminated the number one team in the NBA. Like, y'all did enough. Y'all did good.
You know, honestly, in that East Coast, honestly, the only thing I give a damn about is just hoping that the Sixers continue this momentum and take this series from Boston. If that can happen, man, how crazy would that be? I would be so ecstatic.
You would just be ecstatic because you'll have something to talk trash and pride about.
I really don't talk that kind of trash, really. I just, you know, misery loves company, and I just need a little. I just need a little bit of company. That's all.
Chris, did you hear this shit? I really don't talk that much trash. Are you?
I really don't. I'm moderate. Well, I say, look, compared to you and Pride and Mike and stuff, man, trust me, I'm like, y'all are like up here. I'm down. I'm way down below the stream.
You know what? I keep forgetting that people don't know that me and you talk separately than everybody else. So I think it's just your aggression towards me. I feel like it's just me that you talk mainly shit about. Nobody actually knows the shit talk that you do, Jay.
Hey, man, why you going to put our stuff out there? I thought what happened in Vegas stayed in Vegas.
Sham Sharney is reporting that the sprain, Jimmy Butler's sprain on his ankle wasn't as serious as what they thought, and that he's going to try to play today.
They're just saying that. They're just saying that. I put money on it that this man went into the locker room, and for like that guy said, he's been getting on quote unquote on the clock treatment. No, it's not on the clock 24-hour treatment. They just been shooting this man up with needles in his ankle, filling that shit up with so much tissue that he's just gonna freaking go out there and ball out. Then next year, he's gonna tore that shit. He's gonna be out for next year. They're gonna ruin this.
He doesn't have a ring, so I guess sometimes you got to go all out to get that ring.
Yeah, but Jay, if you really think about it, you go all out and get that ring. How much ruin can you? Like, seriously.
Trust me. I'm not telling him to do it. Trust me. If I was Jimmy Butler.
How ruined can his ankle be to the point where you guys got to be like, like you're trying to get him to play on it? You're up 1-0. Let him sit tonight. If y'all lose, you're going back home to Miami.
Yeah. I just think that's a smarter play. It really is a smarter play. Give him a night off or give him a game off. Let him go back to Miami. Let him continuously get treatment. And let him come back in that home. Let him come back in the home stretch and make a difference there. I don't know why you have to press. You've already taken one game. You've already struck in the first blow. Give that man a break.
And when you go back to Miami, correct me if I'm wrong, stat guy. They get 2 days off after this game because they got to do travel and stuff like that. So they get tomorrow off. I think they don't play again until Thursday.
Yeah,
or maybe
Friday. And tricky too. Think about it like this: even if they were to get past New York with his ankle in the condition it's in, could you imagine how much worse that ankle is going to be if they don't give him the proper rest at the end of this series? And then he's going to try to go another series?
No, after tonight, they don't play until Saturday.
Oh wow, they get 3 days off.
They get 3 days off. So if I'm Miami, yes, you want to have that 2-0 series lead heading back to Miami. But I don't play Jimmy Butler tonight at all because you're essentially giving him 7 days off before he's going to play again with that game being on Saturday.
And think about it, stat guy, right? This is a marathon, not a sprint. Even if you win the series, you could lose the war because he ain't going to be worth a pile of shit going into the next series, which is even going to be even more intense than the 2 that you just came out of. Don't make sense. I don't get it.
But yeah, everybody want to say Eric Spoelstra is a really good coach. Making stupid decisions. I didn't want to say nothing about Eric Spoelstra because I actually do like him, but this is a really dumb decision in his part of being head coach.
I do think Eric Spoelstra is a good coach. Am I questioning this decision? Yes, but do I think he's still a good coach? I do. But yeah, look, every coach at some point makes a decision we don't always agree with. They're
Greg
all
Popovich would have never put Tim Duncan in if he hurt his ankle when he's up 1-0. Phil Jackson would have never put in his best player if they're up 1-0 and has an ankle injury. Like,
well,
they're smart.
In Phil Jackson's defense, if Michael Jordan had an ankle injury, he would have told Phil Jackson he's playing, and that would have been that. Phil Jackson wouldn't have had a chance to say you're not playing. Michael would have been like, nope, I'm playing. Shut up.
Yeah, well, that's Michael Jordan. I mean, Kobe Bryant was the same. Kobe Bryant was the same way.
Yeah, like those two players don't count for Phil Jackson because those two players would have been. They could have had a broken leg and were on crutches, and they would have came into the locker room saying, "No, shut up, Phil. I'm playing. Don't even ask."
But isn't look? And I don't know Butler all the time, but I have seen him go pretty damn hard, even when he's struggling. I kind of think Jimmy would be the same way, though. I think Jimmy is kind of the same way.
Realistically, I think this is more of a Jimmy decision than an Eric Spoelstra decision. I think Jimmy's just basically telling Spoelstra that he can handle the pain. Even if he can't, I think he's going in there saying, I can play, let me play. And Spoelstra's going to trust Jimmy Butler because coach is always saying athlete knows their body. And if an athlete says they can play, you're going to let him play. Obviously, if they got a torn ACL, you're not going to let him go out there. But if it's an ankle sprain and Butler says he can do it, Spoelstra's not going to tell him no. He's just going to be like, okay.
And that's where, you know, I understand on what you're saying, but that's where a coach literally need to be like the guy and the head coach and put an example saying, no, listen, we're up 1-0. We get 3 days off after this. We're going back to Miami. Win or lose, we'll be fine as long as you're 100% ready by game 3. That will be the main attraction right there. It's a 7-game series. Don't try and rush it to try and sweep it so you can go on to the next series. If you know and you're sitting there with a mindset knowing that you can beat the New York Knicks, then go ahead and sit him for this game. Let that ankle heal. If he feels like he's 100% and he's good right now, I will still sit him because I wouldn't trust it. We all know that when you hurt an ankle and you continue to go on the court, it's not that hard to quickly hurt your ankle again.
Yeah, really easy to re-aggravate it.
Yeah, and if you do it again, what makes you say it's not going to be worse than what it was before?
No, I definitely agree with you. And again, just so we're tracking, a sprain is defined as a stretching or tearing of a ligament, the fibrous tissue that connects the bones to the joint. Now, I don't know about you guys, but anything that says a tear in the ligament of any kind, I'm sitting the son of a bitch, whether he wants to or not. And I'm giving him the added rest because you need the rest to let your body heal.
I didn't ask for your medical advice, Jay.
Hey, I didn't ask
you to say. Like, what did you look up at? Did you look up your local hospital and on your website stuff? Like, he just came out, Dr. J. Dr. J. McLovin, a sprained ankle.
Hey, listen. Hey, you can only report what you know. And if you don't know, then what are you really trying to report on? So if you know what a sprain is, you know the seriousness of resting versus trying to continually go at it. So if you've already torn a ligament in a sprain, depending on the grade of the sprain, you're just continuously tearing that same ligament until finally it just gives out, and then you're all the way fucked.
So sprain is just tearing
let's understand what the hell is we're talking about here, okay?
We're talking about you trying to act like a doctor.
I'm not a doctor, you son of a bitch, but I know how to do it.
We know you're not.
I'm sorry. I thought this was an educational show as well as other things. I was just trying to, give a little sound advice there of what we're talking about.
I think there's people around that had a sprained ankle in their lifetime. You definitely had a sprained ankle with those goddamn army boots you used to run in.
Bro, you or when you jump out of a perfectly good helicopter and rappel down, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, or when you go up them damn hills in Afghanistan that look like this. I can't. How am I gonna go at the 45 fucking degree angle, sir? Yeah.
He really curses at this. He curses at his sergeant, but then adds a sir at the end. So respectful. What the fuck, Sarge, sir?
Hey, everything I ever said was always under my breath. I never said that shit to their face. I wasn't that stupid.
He goes to his other people, the privates and shit, like, Can't you believe this fucking Sarge, man?
Hey,
Can't you believe this asshole?
Fucking
hey, listen, hey, but I'll tell you what, man. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man.
There's a fucking private in the other tent that just got here last week, and the Sarge is still asking me to do this shit.
Man, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. I tell you what.
Jay, you know what? Jay, taking military directions from you reminds me of Sergeant Hulka from the movie Stripes.
Reminds me of Sergeant Slaughter of WWE.
Sergeant Hulka, Jay.
You don't ever call me Francis.
Get fucking blown up by the grenade. Chris would be the one throwing it. Frankie would be the one running.
Any of you people touch me, I kill you. Any of you people look at me wrong, I kill you. Any of you people call me
Francis,
I kill you. Oh man, what a good movie, man! That shit still makes me laugh, man.
What do you guys think about the Packers giving Love a 20-something million?
Yeah, that's some stupid shit. Let me ask, the better question is, why are they giving him $22 million on a 1-year deal, which puts him at half or a little over half of the value of a $50 million contract?
Because it's actually less money than giving him that 5th-year option.
And I think it's a smarter move too. Not only what Dustin said is correct, but if you think about it too, like you don't only lock him in for this year, but you also lock him in for next year. And if you're a bust this year, think of the quarterback you can get next year.
Yeah.
That's true. I get what you're saying, but still, $22 million for a man who's never even truly played a long period of time. Not even a game or two in the NFL.
I mean, he's made 2 starts and he's played in like 6 games. So I mean, he doesn't have a ton of experience. But if they would have picked up his 5th-year option next year, anyways, it would have been roughly like 20 to 22 million plus what he's getting paid this year. They're saving $6 million by doing it this way. So in a way, they did still pick up his 5th-year option. They just did it in a different way. They just gave him a 1-year deal as opposed to picking up the option.
Yeah, Jay. God, freaking learn contracts, bro.
You know what I'm learning? I'm learning what to do with my hands. I'm learning what to do with my hands. Gonzo, now I know what to do with my hands.
I know what you could do with them. After the show, put them in your pants. Holster yourself.
Minnesota did the same thing with Justin Jefferson last week too. They didn't actually give Justin Jefferson his 5th-year option. They just gave him a 1-year extension to counteract the 5th-year option. That way Jefferson makes more money in year 4, which is this year, but he's making less money in that 5th year, which helps Minnesota out long-term to extend him.
That's interesting. Why can't they just extend him now? And like you said earlier, why can't they give him like a longer contract and pay him less now than if he goes out and has monstrous or continuously has monstrous years? Then they got to pay him even more.
Because they got to wait to see who comes off the books next year. That's why they did it this way, because they know exactly who's on contract this year and who's on contract next year. So after this year is over, they can see who comes off the books after this year and then counteract that with who's still under contract beyond that. So you do it this way. You give Jefferson about $7 or $8 million more this year because they know exactly who's on the books this year, and then he gets maybe $5 or $6 less million next year than what he would have got, but he's still making more money over the course of these 2 years because of him getting more money up front this year.
Huh. I'm really curious to see how Jordan Addison plays within that system. I mean, if Jefferson had the success he had, and Thielen was a success, before he got old. I mean, that could be a really dangerous unit over there in Minnesota, especially with Hawkinson. That could be a pretty damn dangerous unit. Again, it is still Kirk Cousins, so, I mean, we'll wait and see on that. But, man, that could be a really dangerous offense, though, with the addition of if Addison goes and does what he's supposed to do. And I hate Minnesota, too. I hate Minnesota. I hate everything in the North.
You hate every team in the NFL. Shut up.
As long as Brian Flores can improve that defense even slightly, that team.
Well, I'll tell you what. That was a good pickup by Minnesota, getting Brian Flores in that defense. I thought that was a really nice pickup to coach that defense. Yeah, that was a good pickup.
You could say like what we said on the baseball show this morning, how Bruce Bochy was arguably the most important pickup of the baseball offseason. You could kind of put Brian Flores in that same category and say
absolutely
one of the more important pickups of the NFL offseason.
I just wonder how much longer we're looking at before he gets a job as a head coach. At some point, Brian Flores has to get looked at for that.
I'm not saying that shit because I see what Dustin's trying to do. Dustin over here is trying to get us all to all agree on how good his team did by picking up Brian Flores. I ain't doing it. I'm going to go opposite and say, Dustin, you guys are dumb for going after Brian Flores. How about that? I ain't falling for your trap, Dustin. I ain't doing it.
No, but seriously, hey, on a serious tip, though, at some point, how do they not give him another head coaching gig somewhere? So, like, why is he getting overlooked? Do you think he's getting blackballed because of that whole thing that happened down there in Miami, and he's attached to it for some reason?
I do, but at the same time, you also have to kind of look at his track record too with the Dolphins, where he was a 500 coach through 3 years with the Dolphins, but he never put like a whole season together. His first year as head coach, they freaking started 0-10. And then he goes and wins the last 6 games to finish 6-10. Year 2, I think they went like 9-7 or 10-6, and he actually was pretty good. And then same thing in his final year in Miami. They lost 6 games in a row. They won 6 games in a row. They lost 2 in a row. They won 2 in a row. So he's never really put together like a complete season where you can say, oh, he's a good coach. He's had streaks where he's shown that he's a good coach, but then he's had streaks where he's looked terrible also.
But it didn't help that management.
Oh, no.
Wasn't exactly in his corner.
Yeah, not at all.
So I understand what you're saying, but I also felt like, he was fighting against some stuff over there too, just to put the team that he did get put together.
And honestly, I think this is the best situation for Flores right now, and I'm going to say that because Minnesota's defense was garbage last year. They were 31 out of 32 in the NFL. If he can come into Minnesota and even get that defense to be top 15, people are going to look at him and be like, this guy really does know how to coach, and he will get another opportunity next year.
They're already looking at him like that, Dustin. You want to know why? Because he did it with New England, and he won a Super Bowl with them, doing what he's doing with Minnesota now. So they're already looking at him like that. Don't try and make it look like they're going to look at him because he went to Minnesota and did this for Minnesota. No, they're already looking at him because he won a ring. That thing that they put on the fingers when somebody wins a championship called a Super Bowl. I know you don't know nothing about it.
I don't know what those things are.
But he done it before with New England, and that's how he got a head coaching gig with Miami. I don't try and make it seem like he coming to Minnesota. He makes us a top 15. He gonna get a head coaching job next year. Nah, he already did that, Dustin. I ain't falling for your crap with Brian Flores. I'm not saying that.
Frankie, stop being a hater.
Ain't nothing to hate about, Jay. He won a ring with my team. I know about Brian Flores.
Yeah, I just like to see him get another shot at it. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I would just like to see him get one more shot at it. I think we owe him that.
No, we do owe him that, but I'm just starting to wonder like where the best fit and the best opportunity is for him at this point. Because I said this past offseason before Houston hired DeMeco Ryans that Houston was the best fit for Brian Flores.
Yeah, that's the one where I really was hoping. I was hoping Houston would pick him up.
And when you look at the NFL and how many new coaches they have this year and how many like new coaches were in the league last year, how many teams are honestly going to be looking for a head coach next year?
You're right. It's probably going to be slim. It's going to be slim pickings until coaches get on the hot seat.
The only two that I could maybe see at this point are the Jets. If they fall flat on their face this year with Aaron Rodgers, I can see the Jets getting rid of Robert Saleh at that point and then maybe starting over. If Dallas fails to do anything in the playoffs, I can see McCarthy being gone and having the Dallas job be open for Flores to possibly take. And who knows what happens with the Rams. If the Rams continue to struggle because they gave up everything to get Matthew Stafford, who knows if Sean McVay stays around, he might just decide to leave on his own just because of the situation the Rams are in. Those might be the only 3 openings that I could see Flores maybe getting next year because I think everything else will be accounted for at least another year.
Man, Nate coming in hot on you, Frankie. He talked about your Bruins. Now he's talking about your Patriots. Well, specifically Mac Jones.
I mean, Mac Jones has only been in the league for 3 years now, and Minnesota's been a franchise for 50 years. So, I mean,
hold on, isn't he a Broncos fan though?
Yeah,
he is a Broncos fan.
All right, so didn't you make a mega trade for Russell Wilson and freaking went downfall last year? You brought in Sean Payton to this year to go ahead and be still a downfall team.
I don't put all that on Russell Wilson. I put more of that on Nathaniel.
Hold on, Dustin. Hold on, because I'm not gonna let.
And don't even get Frankie started on the Avalanche.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let. Yeah, definitely that. You let the Krakens beat you. Out of all teams, the Krakens. But I'm not gonna get to that. I'm not gonna get to that because you, just like Chris Gonzo, haven't won a Super Bowl since Peyton Manning. So don't go ahead and try that with me, sir. Don't do it. Don't try and come at Mac Jones, a person who's been in the league for literally going on his 3rd year, and try and say Mac Jones doesn't either. Because I bet you Mac Jones will win a ring before anybody in the quarterback organization for the Denver Broncos. All right? Out of here with that. I hate when losers come in here and try and talk trash about something they don't know. You get a Hall of Famer caliber player in Russell Wilson, and you only get 3 or 4 wins out of it all season? Really? At that point, I look at Kirk Cousins as better than Russell Wilson, and that's saying something because all year last year I was talking trash about Kirk Cousins. Don't do it, Nate. Don't do it, Nate. But anyway, Dustin, as you were saying before, we were so rudely interrupted by some dumb comment from Nate.
Oh, I said I don't put all the blame on Russell Wilson. I put more of it on Nathaniel Hackett just because that was the dumbest head coaching hire Denver could have made last year. Now, if Wilson goes out and struggles with Sean Payton this year, then I think we can start saying that Russell Wilson's on his downfall and that his best days are behind him. That last year, I'm not going to say he hit his downfall yet. I want to see what he does with Sean Payton first, just because Nathaniel Hackett proved he has no business being a head coach.
I'm sorry, is Nathaniel Hackett on the field throwing balls too? Last time I checked, quarterbacks can go out there and change plays if they don't like what they got called.
No, I agree with that, but Russell Wilson, outside of the wins, his stats were not terrible. Yes, they weren't Russell Wilson numbers that he's accustomed to putting up, but he still had a completion percentage around 65%. He still only had, I believe, single-digit interceptions last year, so it's not like he played terrible. He just made a lot of uncharacteristic errors that he normally didn't make. And I think a lot of that had to do with the Nathaniel Hackett system and a system that was created specifically for Aaron Rodgers, who Nathaniel Hackett basically promised Denver that he would be able to get to come to Denver, and it never happened. So his second option was, let's go get Russell Wilson, but he failed to readjust his offensive scheme to fit Russell Wilson's strengths.
Hold on, let me see what he said here.
Let's not forget that Broncos truly did not have a good draft. The best guy they got was Marvin Mims, that 5'11" wide receiver out of Oklahoma was their best draft pick. So it's not like they got a treasure trove of draft picks this year.
Yeah, the Bruins did it to give up a 3-1 lead. But as we talked about yesterday, because you want to, come in here 2 days late after talking, even a sad guy who's a hardcore hockey fan even said that the Panthers are a way better defensive team and actually a way better team than the Krakens are. And yet you guys still let a team who are 2 years in as an NHL team come out and dethrone you, a team who just won the Stanley Cup last year. Okay, so I mean, what's kind of worse, losing to a team who has really good defense and had trouble going up against actually in the regular season, or coming out as the defending champions, losing to a team that literally only been in the NHL for 2 seasons? Come on, cut it out, Nathaniel Hackett, who didn't even last a season. Anybody named Nathaniel wouldn't last a season. Oh, my bad. I meant that to you as well. Russell Wilson had a good team and still sucked. My point exactly, AP. My point exactly, AP. Yes, Nathaniel Hackett was a terrible head coach, and we all knew that. I bet you he was a terrible head coach in Green Bay, but he only looked real good because why? He had Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is not going to take his plays out onto the field. If he goes out to the field and Nathaniel Hackett gives him something stupid, Aaron Rodgers would be smart enough to go ahead and do an audible and change the play.
Which is exactly what you're going to see in New York this year with Nathaniel Hackett in New York.
No, what I'm going to see in New York is New England going ahead and tackle Aaron Rodgers nonstop.
No, I'm just saying, like, when it comes to, like, play calling in New York, if Nathaniel Hackett calls something that Aaron Rodgers doesn't like, Aaron Rodgers is going to audible out of it like he just did in Green Bay those years that Nathaniel Hackett was there. And if you got to remember, Nathaniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator in Jacksonville the year that Jacksonville made the AFC Championship game, and he got fired because he had no idea what the hell he was doing, and the defense bailed Jackson out how many times that year?
That was the year the Patriots smoked them.
Yeah.
Hey, I just like how Sean Payton told Russell Wilson, "Hey, you're gonna get rid of that damn office and get your ass back in the facility. You're gonna be part of the damn team whether you want to or not."
Like how you have Jared Judy and you still lose? You have one of the a young fast wide receiver and you still lose.
And didn't Geno Smith put up about the same numbers in Seattle last year, or maybe
he put up way better
better
numbers than Russell Wilson last year.
Better numbers.
I know he did last year. I'm talking about.
He set a franchise record in touchdown passes last year.
Fuck up. God damn.
Who pissed Gonzo off?
I have no idea what the hell just happened.
Yeah, he got really mad. What just happened?
I don't know. All I heard was "shut the fuck up." God damn.
Let's take him off for a second, because damn, what the hell just happened?
Geno Smith set a franchise record in touchdown passes last year, something that Russell Wilson couldn't do in his 11, 12 years in Seattle. So, I mean, can you say that the system, I guess, was better suited for Geno Smith in Seattle, or was the system better suited for Russell Wilson in Seattle and Geno Smith just capitalized on it? Because if you look at it, same personnel, same players, same coaching staff, and Geno Smith spends 1 year in that system and puts up better numbers than Wilson put up in 12.
And lost to one of their best running backs.
Yeah. And Russell Wilson was carried by a defense called the Legion of Boom the first 5 years of his career, which Seattle did not have last year with Geno Smith.
We smoked that fake Legion of Boom. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Next time, run the ball.
Hey, Nate does come back on the Kraken and say that his team had trouble against the Kraken in the regular season.
Oh, my God. You hear this? You hear this? He's trying to take what I said about the Panthers beating us in the regular season. They trying to flip it on the Kraken. Oh, my God. Yep, I won. Never do it again with me, Nate. Never do it again with me. Maybe you could do it with Jay, but don't do it again with me.
Why you gotta throw me in this shit? What the hell did I do?
Because I feel like you and Nate will have like an equal like shit talking battle. You know, like it will look good. If Nate was to try and come at me, it wouldn't look good because he gets smoked by me. He gets Frankie the Yankee out of me. He's not ready for that yet.
Man, oh man. So real quick, Dustin, I know, what do you think about these new rules in baseball, man? We've been in this thing now a month with these new rules, new bags to shift, everything. What do you think about this? What do you think overall, man, about how they're adjusting to it?
Chris, are you good over there? You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
In terms of rules, I think we can all agree that all the rules have worked. You look at the pitch clock. I don't think any of us even notice there's a pitch clock unless you're actually staring at the pitch clock and looking like, oh, a pitcher's got 2 seconds to throw it. I don't think any of us even know there's a pitch clock going on. I don't think any of us really noticed the bigger bases except for the fact that stolen bases and things are up like that. So the rules that they put in place this year, none of us really even noticed them because the game is still being played the way it has been the last several years. There's just minor details that are coming back that have gone away the last couple of years.
You know, I thought it was funny. You're talking about the bags. And I know that they made the bags bigger supposedly to avoid injuries and collisions and things like that. But when I watched the Astros last night, they actually had a collision on first base when they were throwing the ball. Abreu and I forget the guy that was running, but they actually they clipped each other. And Abreu I think he wanted to get like a bruised thigh, and I think the other guy was okay. But for some reason, even though they got bigger bases, I think we're still seeing collisions out there.
I mean, you're always going to have it, but it's not as prevalent as it was, especially at second base, which is the main reason why they wanted those bigger bases at second base, especially because it takes the whole collision part of it at second base for breaking up double plays and things like that. And that's something that you've seen a lot less frequent now, is there's not as many collision plays at second base. There's not as many dangerous plays at second base anymore. And that was the main reason why they wanted to do the bigger bases, because it got rid of that play over there.
Chris, what do you think about these new rules, man? How do you feel like they're adjusting overall in the league?
I think it's went pretty smooth so far, for the most. I mean, you've seen at the beginning of the season, it seemed like the batters was having a little bit more trouble with it than what the pitchers were. You saw some batters get ejected and stuff, but the bigger bases, I don't think that's really affected a whole lot. And I think you're still going to get some collisions at first, just because the way throws come in sometimes. Sometimes a throw will pull you into the baseline. But I do like that the stolen bases temps are up, the highest it's been in a long time. Batting average is up from this time last year as well. I think it was like 230 last year, and it's 240 something now. So I mean, so it seems like it's helping. And the games are about 35 minutes shorter. So I think it's been a good thing so far.
And honestly, that's the thing that I don't like about it the most, is the shorter games.
You like those long games?
When it comes to being on TV, I like the shorter games just because it gets rid of the commercials and it gets rid of like the downtime between the innings, between the pitching substitutions and everything like that. So being on TV, I like that the games are shorter. But when you go to a game in person, I don't like that they're shorter. Because if I'm going to spend the kind of money to go to a game in person, I want to get my money's worth out of it. I don't want a 3-hour game to be 2 hours and 4 minutes because of a pitch clock. Like, I'd rather have games be longer if I'm there in person, because I spend the money to go there. I want to actually enjoy the game outside and enjoy everything that comes with it.
Man, I understand your view on that, but sometimes, man, I especially when they go extra innings, bro, I mean, them games can go damn near 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, that's a long time to be at a ballpark.
That's why they invented alcohol, Jay.
No, the bitches stopped serving it after the 7th inning. Then you're screwed.
No, they extended it to the 8th inning now.
I thought they moved it back to the 6th.
No, they moved it up to the 8th inning because games are going faster now.
What kind of shit is that?
Yeah, they shorten the game and extend alcohol sales.
Because the games are going shorter now, so they want to make sure people get their money's worth, I guess. I don't know.
What kind of shit is that? You know, there's 9 innings. Why you stop serving alcohol at 8? What the hell? What if I'm going to get drunk in the 9th inning? We going to extra innings.
Frankie, you're not getting drunk on $11 beers, brother. You ain't getting drunk on no $11 beers.
Well, Jay, then that's you. Who's going to go ahead and buy $11 beers? I'm getting drunk before the game, sir, and I'm bringing a bottle with me. I'm gonna hide that shit in my wife's purse.
It with you. That's what they got. That's what they search.
I'm hiding it in my wife's purse.
Did you learn how to keister?
I'm hiding it in my
wife's
purse. Are you
keistering your alcohol?
Jay, you do know that security cannot search your wife's bag, right? Her like actual purse. They can't do that.
I thought they could search your wife's bag.
Not her purse.
I don't know. My wife never brings her purse in. She always, she just brings her ID and her debit card, because she don't bring the whole purse in. So I've never. Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to try that out. No, don't say it out loud, Jay. Just keep the truth.
Jay will try it, get caught, and get banned from the Astros.
Be like, I'll be coming back on this. Yo, Chris, you're not gonna believe what happened. I tried what Frankie said.
I tried what Frankie said, and Jerry Jones found out and banned me from being a Cowboys fan.
What time to be alive?
Woo! Yeah, see, it's probably in different states. They don't do that in New York. It's probably in different.
They do that in Wisconsin. They do that in Wisconsin at a Brewer game too. Like they search everything. If it's a clear bag, they won't search it because they can see through it. But if it's not a clear bag, whether it's a purse, whether it's a backpack, a fanny pack, whatever, they search everything. And at Lambeau Field, at the Pfizer Forum, at Miller Park, like everything will get searched through fully.
Well, it's Milwaukee. That's why you guys probably bomb stuff up over there, carry guns around and stuff. Same with Texas.
Hey,
Texas
don't take away my right to bear arms, you son of a.
Texas is over there right near the border. They got to make sure they don't have nobody freaking crossing that shit in their bag.
Hey, listen, we're the last line of defense when they start coming across the wall.
What wall? Didn't get finished.
I know. That's because Biden took over and they stopped building.
We don't
the wall.
talk politics here, Jay. Shush.
It's just a section of concrete. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just a section of concrete. The 4-foot wall.
Hey, listen. Hey, look. It keeps guys that are the height of Tony out of. So if you're a taller Hispanic, you could probably get over the wall. No problem.
Wow.
Unless you got a shovel, then I guess you could dig underneath it.
I really want one day, right? Jay, is your front door behind you?
No, that's my hallway.
I want one day for this to just happen. Like we're live, and then like Jay just goes ahead and like gets a knock on his door. He opens it for a minute, and all we just see is Jay getting tumbled down by a bunch of little people. All he likes to do is talk about little people. I just feel like a bunch of little people just led by Tony himself.
Hey, listen. Hey, you know what's funny? Hey, when I was stationed at Fort Campbell, there's like a little strip joint just outside the gate. It's purple. It's called Cat West, and there's a little midget in there that comes on stage and she does her little routine. By the way, that little midget makes a lot of money when she strips. Well, I used to call her sausage fingers, but that's what she look like a little sausage finger thing.
Jay, they like to be called little people, not midgets. Stop. That's really rude. You call them midgets. They're kind of like called little people. Anthony
I'm the last line because the fence there is the first line. And then the second line is hopefully the little Ranger Patrol people that patrol the border. And then, of course, we're the last line, the civilians. So.
Frankie, at a wrestling show I'm doing in not this weekend, but next weekend, they're going to have midgets, and I think they're going to be in a steel cage.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank, he was saying they call it micro wrestling, though, according to his dad and everything.
Yeah, they do. That's the best thing. Honestly, that's the best. I love it. WWE used to have that. You remember when they had a Hornswoggle versus El Toro?
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm a big Hornswoggle fan.
Oh, man.
Wow. Hey, it looks like Henry Ruggs, that the Raider that killed. Looks like he's going to plead guilty in that fatal DUI case. I bet he took a plea deal.
I don't think he had much option other than to plead guilty with everything they had.
I bet you he doesn't get suspended from the Raiders. Oh, no, he already is suspended from the Raiders.
Wow. So Ruggs will serve 3 to 10. He'll serve 3 to 10. He'll probably do 5 years and then be out.
No, he'll do 3 and then get like freaking.
Yeah, he'll do the minimum and then have 7 years of like maximum probation as much as you can have.
Community service.
The breakdown on the Jordan Love contract. Only $13.5 million is guaranteed.
Yeah, that's why I said the Packers are technically giving him like more money than what that 5th-year option is, but it's actually less money for the Packers because that 5th-year option is fully guaranteed. So that 5th-year option would have been what, 19.4, and that's all fully guaranteed. By doing it the way they did it here, if it doesn't work out, they only owe him that $13 million, so it's going to save him money anyways.
He's thrown for 606 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions with the Packers.
That's amazing. And how many games? Like 6 games?
6 games, 2 starts. The 2 starts, he probably had like 500 of those 600 yards, and then the other ones were like one series here and there for mop-up duty.
On here saying he started one game, but yeah, he hasn't played much.
Oh yeah, one game because he played 3 quarters against Philly that one game because Rodgers got hurt. So basically 2 full games.
That's Hall of Famer numbers right there.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it says, hey, it says if convicted, which obviously he will be, Ruggs faces a minimum of 2 years and up to 50 years in prison. So I think you're right. I think he gets probably 2.5.
Hold on, how did we go from three?
Because it says if convicted, it says 2 and up to 50. But in the first part of the article, it says 3 to 10. So I don't know how that all works in there.
Because he took a plea deal.
He took a plea deal, so instead of getting the 50, it's 3 to 10 for taking the plea.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So my thing is, will we see Ruggs back in the NFL?
Hell no.
Well, I mean, think about it. Even if he does 3 years.
No, you will not see Ruggs back in the NFL.
But if he does 3 years, he's still young enough to at least do a few more years. Did you ever see Justin Blackman back in the NFL? And Justin Blackman did far less worse than what Henry Ruggs did.
Did you see Aaron Hernandez come back to the NFL?
That's because Aaron Hernandez died in prison. How's he going to come back?
But he still only had to serve 3 years. He didn't make it the full 3 years.
Man, that's because that dude got life. Life is different than 3 years. I could do 3 years.
He would have got out before that.
I couldn't do 3 years. You could do 3 years? I can't do 3 years. I can't even do 4
months.
What
I can't.
Hell?
You know why? Because look at this guy.
Stop that shit right now. You could do 3 years in a maximum facility, Jay. 3 years in a maximum facility.
Jay don't know how to keister, so he probably wouldn't make it past the second day. It'd be a rough day if Jay got locked up. I don't know. I think I would hide under my bunk and pray to God.
You share bunk, sir.
You don't have your own bunk. You share bunks. People would use you as their bunk, and they would lay face down on top of you.
Like literally, like you shit in front of your bunkmate, and that guy is literally just watching you because he's enjoying it.
Someone's ass would be your.
I've worked at a prison. I know how prison life is.
Jay,
I've worked at a medium, and then I did do a couple of months at a maximum. And yeah, that maximum prison, bro.
I worked at a prison for about 8 months or so.
You know what, hey Chris? You know what's bad when the gangs are in the same block, and they literally. Like when one of the guys wants to go take a shower, except they go in pairs, and then the one guy stands outside the shower while the guy's showering to make sure that nobody comes in there and attacks the guy while he's in the shower. So it's almost like you have to have a lookout while you're showering. Oh, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Because people keister there, Jay.
Yeah, Jay, someone's ass would be your pillow, and then you'd be sandwiched between and used as the mattress. If you had to go serve in a maximum prison.
I'll tell you right now, and I told my boy this because I went to some event over the weekend. I'm not going to say on live here, but Jay knows what event I went to over the weekend. And me and my boy were talking about this because one of his friends are actually a CEO. And I said, I can't be a CEO. I literally can't, because if I'm a CEO, I'm looking for the cartel people. And I'm going to be like, hey, yo, I'm going to be your inside man. I'm trying to get rich within a week.
You'll be in prison.
But I'm not gonna be in prison. I ain't gonna be in prison.
I remember one time
I'm gonna quit once I'm rich. I'm quitting.
Hey, no, it don't work like that. I remember this female corrections officer. She came in through the gate, going to her shift, and she was doing backdoor deals with the inmates, giving them sex, giving them drugs, and all that. And they caught her. Like when she came in, hey, they made her strip down, and they literally pulled out 12 small bags of marijuana. 12 in her vagina. I don't know how you get it must have been all up in her damn uterus.
I worked at a prison that was about 20 minutes from where I live at, and went through the training and stuff. I was the CEO. First day there, we go to lunch, or we go to the cafeteria for chow, and I walk in, there's a whole table of guys I went to high school with that are all in this prison, and they all come up and start talking. Hey Gonzo, start talking to me. And all these other COs are looking at me like, well, how the hell does he know all these people? But yeah, there's a whole table of guys I went to school with that were all in that same prison. Like, oh, fuck.
See, Chris, you were going to be their inside man, and then they got questioned right away before that could happen.
It wouldn't happen. I had one guy try to get me to bring him a pack of cigarettes. I told him, I said, dude, he goes, oh, man, I'll give you $300 something for a pack of cigarettes. I said, dude, I just do this for something to do. I don't need no money. I ain't bringing you a fucking pack of cigarettes. Now you're a target. In prison for 4 years.
Yep, and now you're a target. That's why you always go to the hospital every week because you were a target. You got jumped.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, man. Hey, what the prisoners can do with some stuff, like, hey, the way they can make those little wires that are up with pencil stuff, they can plug it into outlets so they can do their little burners and heat up their soups. I mean, prisoners are smart. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, I'm thinking to myself, dude, if you can do this with these limited items and you can make all this electrical shit, why can't you be a damn productive person in the outside world? Shit.
Yeah,
well, they're not dumb on the outside world. They just make dumb decisions.
No, that's true. That is true.
Homemade tattoo guns. I saw an electric outlet made out of a peanut butter jar. You see all kinds of.
Oh, bro, it's stupid. Some of the things that they can do, man. It's ingenious, but it's like, what the fuck?
Jay's like, I saw this guy make a dildo out of a plunger. Like, it's insane.
I wouldn't go that far, but okay.
It was crazy, man. I got there and they made me take my pocket out, and somebody was holding it, made me his bitch.
Bro, I had to do that, man. Like, when you
oh my god, no,
not that. Hey, when you do visitation and stuff, like before they can go out there and see their families and all that kind of, you got to search them down, pat them down. They have to take off all their clothes. You got to make sure they don't have no like contraband going in and coming out. And I hated that. After a while, I was like, man, I'm tired of looking at naked dudes, man. Fuck this. I was like, no, I'm good. Yeah, it's a crazy lifestyle. It's a crazy lifestyle. I just hope old Ruggs comes out okay. No, I really don't. I don't. Look, I don't understand how you can run a car into somebody and they're burning to death, and all you get is a minimum of like 3 years. I mean, to me, that just sounds terrible.
I mean, it's not really about him doing that. I think what was worse was him getting in the car drunk. Like, that's really dumb. Like, you should know as a grown adult, not just an athlete, but as a grown adult, you should know not to get in a car while you're drunk. There's a thing nowadays called Uber. There's a thing nowadays called Blitz.
I mean,
there's a thing still around called taxis.
There's a million things you can do other than what he did. And he's not even the only one. Like, all these athletes are doing dumb stuff like that.
At the very worst, you can call a friend. Come pick you up. If you can't afford a taxi or an Uber, you don't want to spend the money. Oh, I know I got 2 or 3 friends. If I was out drinking, I could call and they'd come pick me up, make sure I got home.
And it's funny you say that, Chris, because I'm pretty sure we read on it. He wasn't there alone. He was actually there with friends. So like, it makes no sense on like why were you the like unresponsible one to go in your, not just any car. It was a fast car that he went into, a sports car. And you just go ahead and you drive it like it's nothing. And you were there with friends. For one, you got shitty friends because none of them actually stood up and told you, like, yo, you shouldn't be doing it. And if they did, then that makes you dumb for not listening and just getting in the car. It makes you irresponsible. So actually, he deserves the time that he should be getting. I wouldn't feel sad for him. Like Jay's over there saying, I feel sad for him. I hope he does come out okay and able to get into the NFL. Nah, bro, he's done. He's done. He's just it's done. It's over.
He should be done. He should be done. I don't disagree with that. I don't. I think the fact that he gets his that he gets his life back at a young age, I think that's more than what he should get back. I think he should die in prison, just like she died in that car, burning to death.
And it doesn't make sense because, correct me if I'm wrong, he should be serving 2 life sentences. Because now they look at animals as a person as well. So like, if you kill an animal, you go to jail on a life sentence for killing an animal as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I just think if you take a life, no matter how many lives, if one life is too much, and the way in which she died, I mean, it's just that's horrific, brother. That is freaking horrific. Nah, I'm good. Lord have mercy.
Lord's not having
Hell,
mercy
hey,
on him.
they still have O.J. Simpson in the Hall of Fame, so
OJ ain't do nothing wrong. The glove didn't fit. Don't go there. Don't go there. The glove ain't fit, Chris.
The glove did not fit. Damn it! Oh, by the way, Stars are playing tonight. And play the Kraken game 1. Panthers and Maple Leafs play tonight too.
Well, how do we go from talking about inmates in prison over to the Dallas Stars? Always. We could be talking about Little League, and the next the Astros are going to come out tonight.
Speaking of Little League, I'm ready for the Little League baseball to come back.
Hey, when does that crank up? Is that cranking up soon?
July, but I mean, you got the Little Leagues are getting ready to start, but the actual Little League World Series, that tournament, they don't start till end of July and early August.
I should try and get into that.
You're too old for Little League, Frankie.
I'm not old. Look at my birth certificate. I am 12. Okay,
Look,
I am 12.
Okay, Daniel,
no, it's okay. Look, even if Frankie at his advanced age, he's never had good baseball skills. So he's still on the T-ball skill set. Okay. So just let Frankie go out there and hit the ball off the tee. It'll be okay. If anything's going to be slow, they'll be able to tag him out.
Frankie will be like
baseball skills. Jay,
Mexican
you're a freaking bat boy. Jay, you are a bat boy. You're the guy. You're the kid.
Hey, bat boy's got skills. Bat boy's got skills. How do you think they get the job as a bat boy?
You'll be the guy that sits around on the third.
How do you think they get the job as a bat boy? You got to know how to play baseball to get the job as a bat boy.
No, you don't. You
Yes,
just
you do.
collect bats.
Yes, you do. See, if you were good at baseball, you would have known that. But you're not good at baseball. That's why you don't know that.
You have to hold on. You have to be good at baseball. To
No,
be
seriously. Like if special needs and T-ball met up, you would be captain.
Oh, son.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to shut Jay down. Jay, you are so bad that the Special Olympics will look at you and say, "What the hell is he doing?" You are so bad that Damian is probably better than you in baseball. You are so bad.
See, you went to Damian Round. I was going to say Damian Round, but I didn't want to specify names.
No.
You can't say Damian. Leave that man alone, even though he don't make sense. Look, you're so bad, Mickey Delaney looks like an all-star compared next to you.
You're so bad, you make Mickey Delaney look like a Hall of Famer. Cut it out.
No. I want to go up there and watch that Little League World Series. It's not too far from. Well, how far is Pennsylvania from you, Frankie?
It's about like 3 hours.
I said that can't be far.
Saying it's not too far for you.
Because you're not far from Philadelphia, are you, Frankie? You're pretty close to Philadelphia, aren't you?
No, I'm close. I'm closer to. No. Pittsburgh is farther. Yeah, I'm closer to Philly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in William.
Yeah,
Williamsport.
Philly's about like 2 hours 45 minutes.
Why don't you go watch the regional tournament by you, Chris?
I do. I go there in Indianapolis. We've been a few times. Watch the regionals. Usually there's two Midwest and Great Lakes.
They go because the coaches look at Tony and say, "Hey, do you want to jump in? we got an extra uniform."
I think they got a ringer over there. He looks like a ringer. No kid can grow that much facial hair.
They play about 45 minutes from where I'm at, so I usually try to go to at least 1 or 2 games a year. Me and my son
I will definitely be going to watch Pearland. When I get down to Texas, I'm definitely going to go watch Pearland play.
You're such a liar. You're such a liar.
No, I don't live that far from Pearland. I'm going to go watch Pearland play.
You are a liar. We're gonna move to Texas, and we're gonna wait a couple months after you move to Texas, and we're gonna ask you. We're gonna be like, "Did you go see a Pearland game yet?" He's gonna come out and be like, "No, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna go there." 3 months go by again. Did you go to Pearland game? No, but I promise you, by next year I will go there.
No, I'm gonna go catch some Pearland baseball. I just gotta find out where they play at. I mean, I know they're playing Pearland, but I don't know whether sports complex they play out of. But I'm gonna find out. He said, "Calm down, with Special Olympics." I have a friend that compete. Oh,
you see what you did? You see what you did, Jay?
Look, I didn't say Special Olympics. You said Damien, and we all know Damien's Special Olympics. So what are you talking about? No.
I said.
You talk about Special Olympics.
Well, now we're talking about
and this is what I said about Special Olympics. I said that you are so bad that the Special Olympics look at you and say, "What the hell are you? Who the hell are you?" That's a good thing. That's a good thing for those Special Olympics because you're actually bad. So I said something good. You didn't.
I'm sorry, Frankie. You're such an angel.
I know. My mama told me that when I was growing up. I didn't believe her.
Was there another hockey game that went in overtime last night?
No, the Devils just straight up cracked the New York Rangers 4-0.
That was the night. That was the night before.
Yeah, it was just it was a Kraken. No, the Krakens didn't go into overtime, did they? They didn't go into overtime in Game 7. I think it was just the Bruins and the Panthers that went into overtime.
Yeah, one of the Bruins and the Panthers because the Kraken beat the Avalanche 2-1, but it was regular 3 periods.
Yeah, the New Jersey Devils came out on fire last night. It was just crazy. That's why I like that. You know, in my first year of hockey, that's why I like it, man. It's just crazy. You never know.
Was New York crazy with them two teams playing each other?
Oh yeah, bro. They were insane. They called it the Hudson River.
Especially probably with the Knicks being in the playoffs as well. That you guys are probably going crazy right now.
Yeah, it's really insane over here. It's really insane. And the thing about it too is like it doesn't matter if you go to Jersey or if you go to New York when they were facing each other. It's like you have equal amount of fans in there. So it's like you can go to a Rangers game in Madison Square Garden, but you'll still see a lot of Devil Red. Or you can go to Jersey and you will see so much Ranger Blue. Like it's just crazy. It's just that because they're so close together, they call it the Hudson River rivalry. It's really weird to say, but that's what they call it because they're like literally right there across from each other. So like you got both fans going to both sides, but New York is more. I think New York is more crazier than New Jersey, just because it's New York. But now that New York is out of there, I expect to see a lot of Jersey Devil fans out there because this is actually the farthest that the Devils went there since getting swept in the Stanley Cup. I think back in like 2014, 2015 or something like that.
What do you guys think of the Panthers not selling tickets to anybody in Canada? for
I didn't hear that. Is that real? Is that
well? They're not. They're limiting the ticket sales into Canada because they're afraid that Toronto's going to have more fans in Florida than they are.
From what I read this morning, that it said that any tickets they're going by the credit card that you use, and any tickets that you purchase with a credit card that's addresses in Canada, you'll get your immediate refund and you be canceled. They're trying to keep.
Well, I think Toronto does get like a certain amount of tickets that they can give out though. Like I think the Maple Leafs have like X amount that they can give out to their fans, but then the rest is first come first serve. I think those are the ones that Florida's banning are the free one or not the free ones, but like the first come first serve ones. I think they're ones that Florida's trying to like dictate, but the ones that Toronto gets, they can't do anything about it because each team gets, I think, 3,000 tickets for road games to give out to their fans that way.
Well, all you got to do then, if that's the case, is find out how much the damn tickets are, go to your bank, take out whatever much money in cash, and just go to the damn gate and pay in cash, and you can still get your ass in there.
Jay, this is the 20th century. This isn't the 1980s or 1970s. We don't like to pay with cash anymore because people like to, get robbed nowadays. And if you get robbed, there goes your money. Just saying.
That's why you have a conceal.
Jay, not all places are like Texas. You can't just carry.
Well, you can carry in Georgia. You can carry in Florida.
See? I don't get you, Jay. You get so mad at people when they carry and they got guns and stuff like that, and you want them to do something about the gun laws, but you're over there like, well, that's why you carry. That's why you got to conceal. Go ahead.
Well, you have to conceal now to compete with the crazies. There's crazy people in this world. Do you not watch the news?
I do watch the news, sir.
There's crazy people in the world, bro.
But just know that if you're getting robbed and you go ahead and you shoot the person that's getting robbed, you're the one that's going to jail for doing the shooting. Gotta be smart, Jay. You gotta be smart. I thought you went overseas. You gotta be smarter than that. Stop using your army head and start using your civilian head. All right? You can't just keep going around shooting people.
I do not go around shooting people.
Oh.
What up, Chris?
I was just reading.
How about them Reds?
Hopefully they play better today.
What's your
They gotta
guys'
beat-
record?
12-17.
God damn it. They're so close to the Yankees.
But, we lost last night 8-3 to the Padres. We play the Padres again tonight. But we have one of our better pitchers on the mound tonight, so I'm hoping for.
Is it Ashcraft tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one of our best pitchers on the mound tonight too. I think he's our only best pitcher right now at the moment.
And the Padres have a Waka.
Waka.
And he has a
he's ass.
6.75 ERA.
Yeah, he's ass.
So I'm hoping the Reds. Yankees have been struggling a little bit here, but they have some injuries too. But
We have 13 players on injury. I showed that to Jay the other day. I'm like, this is why.
Yeah, they have a lot. We have a lot.
We literally just got told this morning that Harrison Bader is finally back in the lineup, so he's back today. But we have a lot of goddamn injuries.
Yeah, today we got Hunter Brown versus I can't even say some kind of dude with last name Fanny, DeStefani or whatever his name is.
Anthony DeStefani.
DeStefani, there you go. That's a hard name to say, but yeah. So we got them. We got the. I think Hunter Brown is. I know you're talking about your guy, but Hunter Brown's doing really well. He's 3-0 with a 2.37 ERA, but we got him on the mound tonight, going against the Giants. So hopefully, I think the Rangers play tonight too. So hopefully the Rangers will pick up that loss, but we'll see. They got the Diamondbacks. We'll see.
The Giants are garbage, but I do give it to them. It was the Giants and the Padres where they made MLB history by hitting literally back to 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 back.
Was that like 11? I think it was 11 altogether.
It was insane. It was insane. It was like so many home runs in that game. No freaking no infield hits or nothing like that. It was just all a home run game.
Wow, yeah, they're giving the advantage to obviously to Texas over Arizona, 56-43%. Man, it'd be nice if Arizona could pull out the win tonight. That would be beautiful.
Jay, you out of all people should know Arizona's not going to do that.
Hey, listen, I can hope and pray though. I can still hope and pray.
Yeah, you can. You totally can. But don't hope too high and don't pray too much.
Nah, look, I hope. I have hope, but I get what you're saying, Frankie. I do got to keep my expectations. And I do. I keep my expectation, but it doesn't mean that I still don't hope.
You got Dustin over there sitting on his chair on his love seat with his hands behind his head because he's just like, yeah, I told these guys back in April about the Rangers.
I said it back in February before spring even started.
Back in December when I said something about Jacob deGrom going over there, I knew it.
But it's not. I'll tell you what, though. Hey, I do believe the Rangers will make the wild card. I think the Astros could probably make the wild card, depending on how that unfolds. But especially with our health, the Astros got to get healthy first before we can do anything. But I think we're only back. I think from the Rangers by one game, so I think it's going to be a hard fought for that division. But I think the Astros will come out on top. I really believe that still. It's a game and a half. I'm sorry. We're a game and a half out of first.
That's how I feel about the Yankees. We're alone in last place right now in our division, and it's going to be amazing when we get all of our key players back and we just rise up to the ladder of success and do what the Astros did last year and get back on top.
That's what we did. We went straight down to last place. Last place.
If the Reds could just start winning some one-run games, they could get above 500. That's been their biggest problem. They've lost like nine or 10 one-run games.
Yeah, I hate when it's one-run games because that really is. It's easier to take a 14.
A lot of those games you're winning.
Loss and there's 1 point.
And a lot of them games they were winning going into like the ninth inning and give up runs in the ninth, or winning going in the eighth and give up runs in the eighth. In one game we give up 8 runs in the eighth inning. But got a young team, got a young bullpen, got to get that bullpen strengthened up.
I think the main thing for the Reds is just finding, your core group that, you think you can do something with, and then, start to assemble around that core group, right? I mean, that's really the main thing. And stocking those draft picks, the more draft picks or whatever, prospects that you can stash, I mean, that's just more you can develop for things, upcoming. So they just gotta find the consistency and start building at this point.
They're starting to get a pretty good core with some of these guys.
It seems like you guys are, though. Especially, you just got that. What was that dude's name again? The one they just signed? That flamethrower? Maybe it was Green. I guess it was Green.
Green.
Yeah. So that was a good step getting him under contract.
Speaking of flamethrowers, did you see Aroldis Chapman yesterday?
No. How did he do?
It's back up to 104, 105 on the gun again.
Damn. Who's he pitching for now?
Kansas City.
That Royals suck. It don't matter. But that's incredible that he got it back up though. How's he pitching though? Like what's his ERA?
It's right around a 3. He had a couple bad outings, but he's been pretty solid otherwise.
That's interesting. Okay. Man, Kansas City's 7-22. Talk about a horrible. Ugh.
Hey, it could be worse. You could be the Oakland A's.
Man, hey, listen, ain't that the damn truth? Holy crap. But I expect more out of the A's. I expect more out of the A's once they move to Vegas. I think once they go to Vegas, we're going to see a different franchise. I really believe we're going to see a different franchise.
I hope. Can't be no worse. Shit.
Oh, hell no.
Well, they won 3 or 4 games so far.
Yeah, not much. Oh, by the way, Aroldis Chapman's ERA is actually at 1.74.
Oh, he's even gotten better then.
Yeah, he's got a 1.74 ERA, 19 strikeouts, and a .87 WHIP and 1 save. That's not bad. That's not bad at all, honestly. He may have regained his form. Damn. But yeah, no, the A's, man, you can't get any worse than that damn team. I don't know how much worse they can get. They're 6-23, Gonzo.
Now they're up to 6. I'll say last time I looked, they had only won like 3 or 4. So
yeah, they're 6-23. I can't imagine. Colorado's 9-20. Yeah. Oh, Kansas City is 7. So Kansas City is 7-22. So literally, there are 3 teams that are just dog horrible, man. And I don't think there's really one worse than the other. I think they all 3 are just horrible.
White Sox are 8-21.
Damn.
They lost 10 in a row.
Hold on.
That's in a row.
Yes, you're right. 8-21.
Oh, yeah, when you lose 10 games,
You don't think
in a row, that'll do it.
I'm right.
Oh no. I apologize. No, I just couldn't believe I skipped over that. I thought I would have seen that.
Yeah, the 8-21. Yeah, like Dustin said, they lost like 10 in a row.
Jay just doesn't know because he doesn't pay attention to the White Sox. He forgot that he lost a series to them.
Hey, over there. Last place. Relax.
I know a lot of the records just from the sports betting show from when I'm writing stuff down. So that's
no, trust me. You and Stat Guy, I know because you pay attention to that because that's what you do for a show is sports betting. So of course you're going to know that. Yeah, absolutely. I just couldn't believe I skipped over because it was right above that one. I'm surprised I didn't see that. But damn, that's crazy.
That's about the worst records. The Tigers are 10-17, but at least they've got 10 wins, I guess.
Well, at least they made it to double digits in the win column. Yeah. I mean, they're only 7 games off of 5.
That's not bad, but yeah, the Reds. I don't understand how them teams feel because last year at this point the Reds had only won like 4 games, so I know. But let's go ahead and get the final thoughts.
All right, I'll go first. Hey, check. I think Saturday. We have a gentleman coming on the show on Unscripted. He's going to talk about the NHL, hockey possibly coming back to the Georgia area. I know the Atlanta Thrashers left a while back, so hopefully it looks like we may possibly be getting, or they may be, because I'll be out of here, but it looks like Georgia will be getting a NHL hockey team. He'll be talking about specifically hockey on Saturday as we interview him. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up his name. That way I can give you the right answer. His name is Rick Costin. Rick Costin, he's an Atlanta native, and he'll be talking a lot of Atlanta and Georgia hockey, what it looks like. If you want to check out his page is called Logan. He has a page, but I guess he didn't put his page in there. I'm sorry. But again, check out the interview. We'll be having an interview with him. We'll be talking hockey, straight hockey on Saturday.
Hey Jay, what time on Saturday?
1 o'clock.
I won't be able to be on. But I just want to make sure you let everybody know what time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, you're right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have said that. Saturday, 1 p.m., we'll be talking to Rick Colston about hockey possibly coming back to the Georgia area.
You don't care. You're leaving the Georgia area to go to Houston. Shut up.
I love you, Frankie. I love you.
Frankie, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, I do. Lakers in 6. Lakers in 6, baby. That's my final thoughts. Lakers in 6.
Lakers in 6. Stat guy.
Final thoughts are we're getting to the best part of the NBA and the NHL postseason as the semifinal rounds lead into the conference finals, but usually it's the semifinal rounds that have the most drama because it's do or die for a lot of teams that are good enough to make it to the finals but just can't seem to put it away.
Yeah. My final thoughts. I'm looking forward to the NBA games tonight, and hopefully the Reds can beat the Padres. But this weekend we'll be at Indianapolis Comic-Con. Be live streaming some pro wrestling. There's multiple shows each day: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think we're doing 3 or 4 shows each day. So bigger shows will be in the evening. So once I have the times lined up, I'll let everybody know. But join us for that. And then, like I said, next weekend we got the Bearcat Rumble, which is a fundraiser for the Muncie Central high school wrestling team, and it's also for the kids club. It's fun. All proceeds go to the wrestling club. So it's a big thing. Like I said earlier, they're going to have some midget wrestlers there. All matches after intermission are going to be steel cage matches. So there's going to be probably 3 or 4 steel cage matches. So this should be a great show. That's May 13th at 6 o'clock. Other than that, join us tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right?
Tonight.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Tomorrow. I'll be able to do tomorrow. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern for the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room, at the All Sports All Plays Network, at Unscripted Sports. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern for another episode of the Afternoon Blitz.